And now let's look at the various skills and how to harness the skills and get the best out of your media team. And this is Gospel Film Hub GH. My name is Emmanuel Ochrimensa, and I am your facilitator for this church media workshop. Thank you for staying with me till now. If you have not subscribed to this channel, subscribe, and let's move on with this session. The Bible talks about people who reap where they have not sowed. If you are a church and you see the importance of media personnel in your church, then you have to invest in training members of the church to take up media roles or positions in the church. You are a church, you are a church, and you have not invested in training anybody in media, and you still want people to support your media ministry, then you are reaping where you have not sowed. You are dependent on people who have taken themselves to school. You are dependent on people who have financed their own training. You are dependent on people who have worked out their experiences and their knowledge by their sweat and blood, and you are taking them for free. I'm not saying that is bad, but then you should also make the effort to invest in training people in the media space, so that when these people who have paid money to receive training decide to go and work to earn a livelihood out of the training they have paid for, and you call them for church service and they are not available, the people you have trained will be able to take up those vacancies that are left behind. Many churches do not bother to train anybody in the media space, and when the people who have paid to train themselves are not able to attend church services or are not available, the church begin to get offended and call them names as if they do not love the work of God. But they have been trained to earn a livelihood from what they are doing, and they don't come to the church to do business. They come to the church to serve God just as any other person is doing. And so when they are not able to come to church and they find themselves somewhere working, that is it. You do not call them names. You do not call them evil because they are not coming to work in the church or in the house of God. Mind you, wherever we find ourselves working as media people, as any other professionals, that is the field God has given to us. That's why the Church of Pentecost says, possessing the nations through our works and our professions. So whichever profession you find yourself in, you really have to possess that environment and make Christ be known over there. So our profession as media people is not limited to what we do in the church. We work outside there too. And so we may not have time, or we may not always be available for church programs. That's why the church must also invest in training more people to support the media ministry. Having said that, I will also encourage the churches to organize in-service training for their media people. That is also a form of investing in the media ministry. People have trained themselves to be in the media ministry. People came into the media ministry out of passion. They are learning on the job. Sometimes they really need upgrade in knowledge. So as a pastor or as a leader of the church or as a leader of the church media department, you should know the level of knowledge of each member in the media team. Some are graduates in media, some even hold their masters in media, some learned through apprenticeship, others learned on the job, others have a lot of experience. You can organize internal workshops so that those who know more can teach those who know less. Or when you feel that the members of your media team do not have that level of expertise or knowledge, maybe in your media team you don't even have anybody having a diploma in media, a degree in media, and you feel like bringing in external people to come and train them. Yes, you know the level of your members and you bring in appropriate people to come in to train them. Be careful, so that perhaps you have graduates, even people holding their masters in media, and you decide to hold training for the whole media team, and you go and bring in people whose knowledge is not up to the level of some of the members in your media team. They may end up disrespecting the training you are organizing for them. So before you organize these trainings, know the expertise, know the educational levels of each member of your media team, and then know the personnel to bring on board to come and train them in the training sessions. And that is not all. Let's also encourage the media team members to learn by themselves, especially if you have the link to this video, share it with any of your media team members to watch it. By watching videos like this, by taking part in online workshops like this, they are also upgrading in their knowledge and skill set. So share the link with them to learn, and also watch similar videos like this to upgrade themselves in knowledge. Also, one way to get the best out of your media personnel is to match people to their talents. For example, somebody who is so talented in photography is to be made a photographer within the team. They can function better in that field. It is not the best to force or convert somebody who is talented in photography, who is good in photography, to become a live streaming technician because you don't have anybody doing it. It's best you pick somebody who is not doing anything in the church media and train that person in that capacity or in that field. So let people work according to their skills and talent within the team, and you can get the best out of them. Again, respect the individual jobs the media people do and understand the demand and the frustrations some of these jobs place on them. For example, somebody who is a banker, or somebody who is an accountant, somebody who works with a TV station, a cameraman, an editor, goes to work and do a lot of work, and then you are expecting same person to attend evening service and come and work in the media department. They are already stressed, they are already tired, and so when people are working under these conditions, they kind of make a lot of mistakes, and you see errors here and there. Understand them. For instance, or perhaps you are a pastor, that is the only work you do. In the daytime, when the other people are working in various fields, you are in the church praying, or you are in the church learning or studying the word of God, or you are even waiting for them to close from work and come for evening services. Mind you, the media people are closing from work to come back and work again. So they work in the day, and in the night they come to the church and they come there to work as well. So whenever you see some inefficiencies or you see some incompetencies, understand the demand on them, and don't stand in front of the congregation and be shouting at them, media, do this, media, why can't you do this? Some pastors, some church leaders vent out their frustrations on the media team, and it doesn't really bring out the best in them. When you behave like that towards the team, they begin to feel like you don't care about them, you don't know what they are going through. Some of them close from work, they do not go home. They come to the church already hungry. They come to the church after spending time in traffic. Sometimes they even come late. And we are also learning that media people should even be at the church service, turn on equipment and gadgets, and get prepared even before the service starts. This is the case. They have closed from work. They have delayed in traffic. They did not go home, and they still come to the church late. And you vent out your anger and displeasure at them. The next moment, they will not even come at all. I was telling somebody, what you may not be okay with what I am doing in the church media, but what if I was not doing it at all? This is not my full-time work. It is help I am helping the church. I'm not creating an excuse for the incompetencies of media people, but when you are setting up a media team and you want to get the best out of them, try to understand them and appreciate whichever support they are giving to the church. By that, you are encouraging them to do more instead of bashing them, talking at them, rebuking them. Some churches call their media people in front of the congregation, and that is where they go and rebuke them. What if the person is not even working in the media team at all? What if the person is not even coming to church at all? So I'm not saying we should pamper them, but there should be a way of talking them out to give their best. And let me also say that above all things, let's give them the necessary gadgets and the right tools to work with. We expect the best out of the team, but when a professional team, a competent team is not resourced enough to deliver, you will see lapses in their deliveries. Let's give them powerful computers. Media is very, very expensive. This training I am organized here is very, very expensive. Getting the lights in place, getting the cameras, getting the sound, it is expensive. So if you want the best out of your church media team, give them the resources to work with. Give them everything they need and see how they perform. After giving them everything and you are not getting the results you need, then you have a right to call their attention to some of these incompetencies. Until then, we need to make conscious effort to resource them. Many people see my church media doing so well and performing greatly without much effort because things are in place. You go to church and you have powerful computers to work with. You go to church and you have quality and good cameras to work with. You go to church and you have the lighting systems and the right environment within which to produce your media content or your live streams. Everything is in place. Good internet is available. Then you can see that with little effort, you are able to achieve quality productions. But in places where good team is less resourced, they will give in a lot of effort and still the output will not be the best to glorify God. So let's equip our media team members and expect them to deliver and give the best. Very soon, I will be moving on to what most of you are yearning and waiting eagerly to hear me talk about: compensation and payment. Media people, are they supposed to be paid, or it is the work of God, so they should not be paid? But before I go there, let's also look at this critical issue in getting the best out of our media team. See, there may come a time when you have to support the services being rendered by your in-house media team. Maybe there's a bigger program and you will need more cameramen to work on board. Maybe the work or the program is bigger, or the expectations from the program is bigger than you think your team can deliver. So you want to bring in experts, more professional people from outside to come and execute the production tasks. It is not wrong. It's not every church that will be endowed or blessed to have professional media people within the team. So it is understandable. Some churches call us to come and support them with their media works. And sometimes too, our church also bring in people to come and support the work we do. Sometimes it looks as if the in-house media people are not incompetent. It looks as if the church media people are not doing anything. They do not have knowledge in media. That is why they are going to bring people from outside to come and do their work. And when it happens like that, it creates friction between the two teams. No matter how good you may be, you are coming to work in an unknown environment, and you will need the support of the in-house media people. Even to get a place to charge your camera batteries and fix your lighting and other stuff, you will have to consult the in-house media people. Mind you, Sometimes these pastors, these church leaders may let it look as if their in-house media people are nothing. They don't know anything. So they are bringing you to come and do their work. And if you are not careful, you will go there and disrespect those in-house media people and create problem for yourself. Also, if you are an in-house media person and your pastor or your church leaders are bringing in people to come and support the work you do, accommodate them and understand them. Because one day you will also be required to go and support the work in another church. The Bible says, do unto others what you want others to do to you. When you go to work in somebody's church, the way you want them to receive you, receive the other people as well. Let me share this with you. There was a program in my church, and my pastor invited a speaker to the program. When the main speaker was coming, he also came with his media people. On the first night of the program, they came in late. So our team was in place working. Then I was there, and then I was not around, but my team was already there working. I got there and I saw new faces sitting behind the consoles and the mixer boards operating. So I got there and started making inquiries. And I was told how there was a takeover, and my team people were so angry. They were not happy about how the takeover happened. A cameraman was standing behind the camera on a tripod in the midst of the congregation. And then a cameraman from the guest speakers team just walked straight to him and told him to remove his camera and for him to place his camera there, because they have been called to come and do the work. The person, the live streaming technician was there, and another person came in with his laptop, came to plug things and told him to give him way to do his setup and start doing the projection and other stuffs. Then a team member also went straight to the mixer board and told the person over there to get up for. So there was friction and hitches here and there. I was not there, but my people felt disrespected and they were trying to resist. Who are you? Where are you coming from? And they said, we are the people coming to project the sermons and do this for our Oga, who is the main speaker. We know the sermon he is coming to preach. We already have his scriptures and everything, slides prepared on this laptop. And so we have to set up quickly. The speaker was already late. He came in when the service was in progress. So they were also in a rush to set up before he mounted the podium to start preaching. I understood them. But you see, the problem that came was communication between the person who invited them to the church. The in-house media team was not updated with the arrangements made for the takeover. And the people who were also invited, the media people coming with the speaker, did not have any clue about an in-house media team, what they were able to do, what they were not able to do. And there was no link or communication between the two media teams. This is very, very, very critical. If you are a pastor, if you are a church leader, if you are a leader of a church media team, and at any point you are bringing in other support team from elsewhere to come and work with your in-house team, let the leaders of two teams start talking, share experiences, look out for equipment that are lacking, equipment that are available. Let them plan together and work together in harmony, because it is the same auditorium. We are serving the same people within the church, and we are also serving the same church platform. It was not as if those people coming from outside were coming to stream on a different channel. They were coming to stream on the same church's streaming platform. So why was there no arrangement for the two teams to work together? Sometimes, like I said earlier on, some of these pastors will make it look as if their in-house media people are not competent enough, and so the people coming from outside will come in to disrespect them. But hey, mind you, media people, don't be misled by some of the comments made by some of these people. Whoever you go to meet or whoever you are going to meet in any church, whether they are good, whether they are not good, accord them the maximum respect you will give to a fellow media person. At the end of the day, the church leaders do not have an idea how it feels when everybody is sitting and the cameraman alone is standing from the beginning of the service to the end of the service. So media people, we understand ourselves. Wherever we meet, whenever we meet, only we understand ourselves and what we go through to support these church ministries. So do not go to any church and go and disrespect the media people there, regardless of their skill set or their competencies. In the same way, in-house media person, accommodate and receive the guest media people warmly and respectively. Don't allow anybody to infuriate you, to be harsh and treat them anyhow. That is not part of our professional conduct and practices. When we are able to work like this, then we can think of getting the best out of our media persons, whether in-house or visiting media personnel coming to support church media production. Sometimes too, it's not just the pastors alone. At times, musicians in the church may be organizing programs and they would like to use the services of the in-house media people, and still they bring in people from outside to come and support. Communication is key here so that the two teams will start preparing themselves to work together. You can't just bring in someone from outside and then with their gadgets, they fuse into the church media setup easily to work. No. You always have to communicate and work things together so that they can work smoothly. Remember, it is not only persons that are coming in to work together. Equipments and gadgets are also coming in to work. The guests, the kind of equipment and gadgets the other people are bringing from outside, do they easily fit into the in-house media setup? These things should be done. Where there need to be adapters and cables to link the visiting media personnel and their gadgets to the in-house media setup, such arrangements should be made. But when you don't create that link there and you feel you are the one organizing your program, so you feel the people in-house are not enough, you are bringing people from outside, there's no need for you to seek their opinion and permission. You will end up creating chaos around your own event and environment. Don't go away. Let's take a little break to take coffee, tea, or water and come back to the lesson 3 and the concluding part of this workshop. Thank you for staying till now. God bless you for watching. Don't go away. I'll be right back in few seconds. All right, so welcome to the 3rd lesson of this church media workshop and training. In fact, this is the concluding part of the whole workshop. And so thank you so much for watching up to this point. And now we are going to look at the church media workers' compensation. Are they to be paid or not to be paid? But before that, hey, don't go away. We are going to look at the general appearance of church media practitioners. How should they appear in the church when they carry out their day-to-day media activities? Don't go away. Stay with me. And so the first point to share under this lesson is that church media people are expected to dress modestly but professionally. The fact that you are dressing professionally doesn't mean you should dress to call for attraction to yourself. You dress professionally. Simple t-shirt, jean trousers, Lacoste jean trousers, shirt, jean trousers. I am mentioning jeans because the materials are tough and hard and it's not easy for them to tear. I see some people working in church media. I see some people working with kaftans and African prints. You see, the media work is not always about standing. There may be times you may have to bend down when you are adjusting the feet of the tripod. You may have to bend down. Sometimes you come to church and in the service you see there are some technical hitches. You may have to change some cables. You may have to be bending down. Sometimes you even have to kneel down. There are times you are taking pictures. You may have to bend down. And so you have to wear especially pants or trousers that will accommodate such movements during church services. You wouldn't want the situation whereby you are wearing kaftan, you bend down to take a picture, you bend down to fix something, and it gets torn. That's why I kept mentioning jeans. Jeans is trusted. I also keep mentioning T-shirt and Lacoste because they are made of materials that are flexible. They can expand. So when you have to lift up your hand, when you have to bend down, when you have to stretch or do anything, they can stretch to accommodate you. You know, some of the costumes we wear to church, the ladies, the kaba and the slit, the corsets and the other things, doesn't even allow you to breathe. So what if you are a photographer, you are a videographer, you have to lift up the camera, you have to do handheld, you have to move and be agile in your movement. You wouldn't like your costume or your clothes to restrict your movement. So you wear flexible clothes that will allow free movement during church service operations. And that is on the professional level. And on the modesty, you see a simple T-shirt on a jean trousers goes very, very simple. You wear an easy footwear that will enhance your movement so you don't move noisily. You don't have to put on jewels, other accessories that are not playing any role in your church media production. You work in utmost modesty. That wouldn't call for attraction to yourself. And then in the earlier lessons, I mentioned the color of our costume. Ideally, black is the best. Black is the best because black easily blends into the congregation or the crowd. Imagine being at church and the videographer is wearing strong yellow shirts. Wherever he is standing, he is catching attention. And when he has to move in between the rows and the congregation, he calls for attraction to himself. You are wearing yellow, you are wearing red, you are wearing orange, you are wearing anything brighter, you are wearing something multicolored dress or something, flowers here, these colors here. No, that is not professional dress code for media workers, not even for the church media alone, but media in general. That's why you usually see us in our black T-shirts with our vest on top. The vest accommodates your extra accessories like SD cards. When your memory card in the camera get full, there should be a place for you to keep extra SD cards. There should be a place in your vest to keep extra camera batteries and other accessories, even your phone. Yes, that's why we wear the vest. The vest has so many pockets to keep or to accommodate all these minor accessories that we work with. And more importantly, church media workers, you have to exercise strong personal hygiene. Nobody will love a church photographer who stinks when he passes by. Nobody will be delightful in the videographer who walks with a smelly shoe. Nobody would like the media person who smells around him or her. And this is a Sunday service. Everybody is looking their best. Then you say because you are doing media, you look sweaty, you are full of sweat, you smell sweat. That is not the best church media team. Most people come to church and they remain on their seat for most part of the service. There will be a few moments they will rise up to sing and to pray. But church media people, we are moving up and down. It's normal for us to sweat, yes. So we have to find ways and means to handle these situations. You use good deodorants. Make sure you even bath before you come to church. Bath before you come to church. Use good deodorants. Use perfumes if you can afford. And if you know you are that type that sweat so much, learn to wear inners so that even when you sweat, the inner you are wearing will absorb the sweat, and the sweat will not come out to wet the outer dress you are wearing. Nobody is okay to see a church media worker walking around taking pictures and videos with an armpit full of sweat. It doesn't look pleasant. And I've already mentioned about the smell. Nobody is interested in a media person who moves about and stink, excuse my language. That is why we have to exercise good personal hygiene. Our hair, our fingernails, our clothes should be neat, and above all, we should smell good. We should smell good, and we should also take care of our oral hygiene. You yourself, you feel confident to do your work happily when you know you feel good, you smell good, and you look good. So let's be mindful of our appearance in the midst of the church people. You see, and our women, let's also pay very great attention to our dressing. It wouldn't help for a church media lady to dress up like any other person. As I mentioned earlier, most of the people in the church, they come and then they sit down. They stand up for few moments. Most of the time they sit down. So even when they are wearing short dresses, when they are wearing fit dresses, they sit down. Everybody is looking straight. But in situations whereby a female videographer is wearing a tight-fitting dress and it looks short too, and she moves in the rows taking photographs or videos, I mentioned sometimes our work requires us to bend down. Everybody is sitting down, and you have to take that photograph bending down, and your dress is not allowing you to do that, or you still do it anyway, creating confusion in the minds of the opposite sex church members. We are there to serve God. We are not there to be an obstacle or a distraction or a negative attraction to the church members. So let's dress decently. Let's protect our cleavages, the ladies. Let's not expose ourselves and our hidden structures or forms. Even when you have to wear t-shirt and jeans, you wear the t-shirt which will be long enough to cover most part of your behind, and then your jeans should not be so tightened. It shouldn't be stretched or the type they call leggings or whatever. When you wear jeans, it's okay. You wear your foot. Don't wear high heels. Don't wear high heels and be walking in the midst of the congregation and say you are taking pictures. And whilst sermon is ongoing, whilst we are praying, you hear the female photographer walking in the midst. It doesn't look good. So let's wear noiseless shoes so that we can walk easily without having to tiptoe and put ourselves into that situation, both men and female. The videographers, the males, if you do not have eye problems, do not go and stand behind the camera with spectacles, sunshades. We see some of these media people, they dress well in their black and they are wearing dark shades and with their walkie-talkies and their headsets, and when they are standing there, they look like national security personnel. That is not what we are talking about. Dress decently. If you don't have eye problem or you are not wearing shades or spectacles to aid your vision, just remove them. If you want to put on wristwatch, it should be a simple one. Even chain watches are not good. If you are married and you have your ring on, it should be that ring. If you are not married, don't be putting rings on all your fingers or other fingers. Do away with rings and those accessories that attract attention to yourself. That is what we mean by dressing modestly and professionally. And now let's look at the compensation for church media workers. Church media workers, let's discuss. Do you want to be paid for the work you do for your church? Perhaps you are a cameraman, you are an editor, you are a video mixer or switcher, you are a streaming technician, you are a projectionist, photographer, whatever. Do you want to be paid? It's not wrong when you are paid. I hear people talking against church workers who are paid, especially in the media space. They are of the view that you are taking your blessings here on earth, and so the work you are doing doesn't attract any blessings to you. You see, those who want to take money should not condemn those who feel they are working for God, so they will not take any money. And those who don't feel like taking money should not condemn those who are taking the money. That is the first principle I want to share here. It is about the level of maturity in Christ. It's about personal relationship with God. It is about offering. It is about sacrifice. It is about beliefs. You see, some people eat snakes. Some people do not eat snakes. The one who eats snakes should not condemn the one who doesn't eat them. In the same manner, the one who doesn't eat them should not condemn the one who eats them. Paul addressed this issue, and it can be applied when it comes to the compensation of church media workers. So, church leaders, church management, you make that conscious effort, because the Bible says a laborer is worthy of his wages. And then it is not right for you to reap where you have not sowed. You expect the services you have not paid for. It is not right. So make that effort to give out something. You will see that within the same team, some people will take the money and give it back as offering. Some people will not take it at all. Others will take it in good faith and thank you. And they will also appreciate it so much. You see, nobody working in the house of God deserves even the space to work there. Who are we to be called workers in the house of the Holy God? It is by grace that we also have the chance to serve in the house of God. So beyond the time I have purposed in my heart that I will give this day unto the Lord. For example, on Sundays, whatever work I have to do in the church, I see it as my offering to God. So I go to church on Sunday, whatever I have to do, I do it. It is my offering to God. After Sunday, when I close from church, I am done. I do not have any other contract or work to do for the church. So, if you are a pastor, if you are a church leader, and you need my services aside the Sunday I am giving as an offering, then it must be negotiated. Because media is my only source of income. I am a video content producer and a director. I handle camera, I do video editing. So Monday, when everybody leaves home to go and work, I also go to work as a video editor. Sometimes I work as a script writer. Sometimes I'll be working as a director, a producer, or a camera person, or an editor. So when the bankers are working at the bank, when the doctors are working at the hospital, I am also working in the media space. Then on Saturday, we all rest. And on Sunday, we all come and worship the Lord. Some people come to church on Sundays with money. I also come with my skills, my talent, and then my time. So that is why when other people are sitting conveniently, comfortably listening to the word of God, I will be working. I will be working in the church at the same time. That is why when people are praying on Sundays, I do not pray. I hold camera, taking pictures of them, taking videos of them, editing videos of them, and putting them on social media. That is my offering. And it applies. So when on Tuesday there is a church program and you still want live streaming, you want media people to come and work, then you are telling me to leave my work and come and do the church work. So what happens to the money I am losing from my workplace? That money will have to be paid by the church. I'm not saying that I'm going to task the church to pay me like I will take from outside, but it cannot be free. See, it is like somebody selling cars. Then there is a new pastor in the church, and the person takes one car and says, "This is my offering. I'm giving this car to the pastor." The pastor takes the car, thanks him, and pray for him. Then at another time, the church needs more cars. You can't go to the person and say, because you gave the pastor a car the other time, give us more cars. No, the cars are being sold. It is business. The car that he gave to the pastor as an offering, he is paying for that car. It's the same with church media workers. We look through our schedule, we look through ourselves, and we decide that on this particular day, at this particular time, we will not accept any gig. We will not accept any job. We will dedicate this time to work in the church. That is for free. But beyond that time, beyond that moment, beyond that period, if the church requires our services, then we must sit down and negotiate. Many churches don't want to hear this. Many pastors don't want to hear what I am saying, but that is the truth. They claim that the talent, the skills, the knowledge of the media people are given by God, so they should use it to serve God. Anytime, anywhere, there is the call to serve. I do not have any problem with that. But you see, these churches that go by this principle are the same churches that suffer. I've witnessed it before. When there is a church program and you call this media person and he tells you, "I am going to work, I won't be available." You call this media person, he says, "I don't have transportation to come." You call this media person, "I'm running errands for my mother." You call this media person, "I'm running errands for someone." You call this media person, "I'm not available." Everybody wakes up looking for their livelihoods. So if you are not paying me to come and work in the church on a Tuesday morning when everybody is supposed to be at work, and you call me to come and work in the church, and I tell you that I am at work somewhere, how does it feel? Then we say the media people love money. What about that teacher who wakes up in the morning and go to work on Monday to go and teach? Will you call him to come and do media on Monday morning in the church? What about that police officer who is on duty at work? Will you tell him to leave his work and come and do media in the church? What about that medical doctor? What about that lawyer? What about that accountant? What about that trader? Will you tell them all to stop work and come and work in the church during the weekdays? So why are you doing this to the media person who, out of humility, has dedicated his time to serve in the church? Most of us, we volunteer on Sundays, we come to church, and then we do media. But if there is the need for the church to get media people present in the church during weekdays, then there must be permanent media staff who are on the church's payroll to come to work on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and if there need be, on Saturday as well. Then the volunteers will come on Sunday to support the work of the permanent media staff. Media, even before the start of service, phone calls. Instrumentalist, before the start of service, phone calls. Whether you have broken heart, whether you are sad, whether you are happy, whether you are hungry, whether you are sick, you are called to be in church, to operate camera, to operate media gadgets. That sets the difference between who is to be paid something and who is not to be paid something. I'm not saying strictly pay them huge. Some people, all they require is stipend. Some people just require transportations. On Sunday, we choose to fellowship with this church. No matter how far or near it is, we have decided to fellowship with this church. So we find our own means of transport to attend church. But when there is a week-long program, Monday, you want the person to be there, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, whether the person has transportation arrangement in place or not. You do not care. All you do is you call the person, media, where are you? There's no media person in the church. How they get to the church, you do not care. Even where they stay, you do not know. You don't know what they go through to move from their houses to the church. You do not know what they sacrifice from their homes to get to the church. You see, one funny thing is, these same people who are against paying church media people are the same people who come to church with big cars. We close from church, the church media person is standing by the roadside looking for transportation. Not that they don't have money to pay for transport. In the night after service, they find it even difficult getting taxis or troskis to their homes. Then these big people will see them and drive past them. There have been times when after church I had to charter a taxi home because I couldn't get any moving taxi. What if I did not have that financial strength to charter a taxi from the church premises to my house? How would I end up going home? So, in essence, this is what we mean when we talk about church media personnel compensation. They are not saying that pay them like they are paid by companies outside. Some of them have their jobs that they are doing. So the church media staff becomes like part-time. It's a casual job. Apart from Sundays, it is not every week that there is a church program. But when there is a church program, a week-long program, then that becomes their casual part-time job. I said earlier, some of them go to work in the morning, 8 o'clock. They close from the office 5 p.m. Then they sit in traffic because they are hungry. They don't even go home. They come straight to the church. They finish church work before they go home late in the night. That is a part-time job. It's not like they come to the church and sit down to fellowship and listen to the word of God, listen to good music, worship, pray, and go home. They come to work. Don't be surprised that some of them go to work early in the morning, stand and hold camera to do videography. They close and then they come back to the church and do the same thing in the night. Then you say because everybody is coming to church, these people don't deserve any form of compensation. What happened to love gifts? Encourage the church members. You see, it's not everything that, it's not every time that church media people are expecting money from the church. Pastors, use your platform. Talk to the church members. Appreciate these media people. If you feel like one day coming to church, you hold an envelope, whichever amount you have, just hand it over to the media team. Oh, appreciating your effort and your work in the church. It's fine. If you identify one church media person who is so dedicated and committed to the work he's doing, and you feel like, oh, buying him a singlet, buying him a perfume, buying him boxer shorts, buying him a pair of shoes, buying him a phone, buying him anything, they will appreciate. But to say that they are also church members, so they don't deserve a dime, they don't deserve anything for their labor. The Bible that we all preach says the laborer is worthy of his wages. Then what happens to that sermon? What happened to the sermon that says you reap where you have not sowed? You enjoy the services of the person, the same services people pay to enjoy outside the church. The church is enjoying the same services without paying anything. Meanwhile, the church did not invest in the person's training or education. The person has paid money. Some people took student loans to educate themselves at the university. They have not even finished paying those student loans. Then the church is using them to do church work, and the church feels like the talent is God-given, so they do not deserve any monetary compensation. I am not here to judge. I don't think you watching me is there to judge, but God alone is the judge. Well, having said all this, if you are a church media person, if you are a church leader, if you are a pastor, let's all seek wisdom in solving this issue. Some pastors have said that if you are a church media person, you are supposed to work for free. But at any time, if you feel like taking the church media as your full-time job, apply to the church leadership. I have done church media out of my own will without asking for any money. But at this point, I have a family, I have dependents, I have mouths to feed. I want the church to employ me full-time to do church media. Then if the church needs my service, they will employ me and put me on payroll. If they say they are not prepared to employ me full-time and pay me, then I have to go and find a permanent job elsewhere. That is when the church will call you to come and do church work, and you tell them that I am at work. I am no longer available, and they get offended. All right, so this is how we end this church media workshop on the Gospel Film Hub GH YouTube channel. I know I have not said it all, but the little that I have said, when listened and studied carefully, can go a long way to help set up a strong media team that will work and give out their best to support your church and to give glory to God. Once again, my name is Emmanuel Ochirimensa. Currently, I am the producer and director at the Gospel Film Hub GH. For all the films you watch on this channel, I am the director and then the producer. Apart from that, I am also an advertising content producer. I produce TV adverts, I produce radio jingles, I produce other multimedia content for corporate organizations and businesses in the form of adverts. If you need my services, you can call me on 0549 201313, 0549 201313. If you want to organize church media training for your team, you can also call on me, and I will be available to share more knowledge, experience, and advices on church media setups. Thank you for watching this course on my YouTube channel.